Hello coders, I hope you are coding well. In the previous video, we created add project API call in our Spring Boot application and then we tested this API in Postman. And in today's video, we will create manage projects component with routing, and after this we will create add project reactive form with controls and validations in our Angular application. So let's get started. So in our Angular application, first of all, we need to create manage projects component in the admin module. And to do this, inside the admin folder, we will right click on this components folder and we will open it in integrated terminal. And in this terminal, we will give the command ng g for generate, c for component, and we will name this component as manage projects. And as you can see, our manage projects component is ready. Now we need to create routing for this component, and to do this we will open admin routing.module.ts, and in the routes array we will duplicate the existing dashboard route, and then we need to update the path and we will replace this dashboard with manage projects. And after this we need to update the component and we will replace this admin dashboard component with manage projects component. And with this our routing is completed. Now let's save this file, and after this we will open manage projects folder, and in this we will open the ts file. And in this file, first of all, we need to import the shared module in the imports array, and we will add the import from our shared folder. And after this, in this component we need to create a form group, and we will name this form group as project form. And after this, for the type we will give this as form group and we will import it from angular/forms. And after this we will create a constructor in this component, and to build the reactive form we need to inject form builder. And to do this we will write private and we will name this as fb, and after this we will mention form builder and we will import it from angular/forms. And after this we need to create ng-on-init method in this component, and in this method we need to build our project form. And to do this we will write this dot project form is equals to, and after this we will use our form builder, and then we will call group method. And in this we need to mention the controls of our form, and first of all we need to get the project name and we will name this control as name. And after this, for by default value we will give this as null, and then we need to give the validators and we will give them as validators dot required. And after the name we will create another control for the duration, and same like name, for by default value we will give null, and for validators we will give validators dot required. And after this we will create a control for the start date as well. And with this our ts code is completed. And now let's save this file, and after this we will open html file of this component. And in this file we need to create two columns, and in the first column we will show the form, and in the second column we will show the data of projects. And in today's video we will work only on the reactive form column. And to do this, first of all we will create a div, and in the style we will give the margin top as 10 pixel. And after this we will create another div of n0, and in this row now we need to create two columns. And to do this we will create another div tag of nzcall, and for the nzflex we will give this as 2. And after this we will create second column as well, and for nzflex we will give this as 3. And then for the style we will give margin left 20 pixel. And now let's go to our first column, and in this we will create nzcard, and for the type we will give this as inner. And after this, for the title we will give this as post new project. And after this, in this nzcard we will create form tag, and in this form tag for the form group we will bind our project form. And now we need to create form controls, and to do this we will create nzform item tag, and in this nzform item we will create nzform control tag. And for the validation error we will give nzerrorTip as please input the name. And after this, in this nzform control we will create input tag, and for the form control name we will give this as name. And with this our form control to get the project name is completed. And now we need to create form control to get the duration. And to do this, we will again create form item and form control tags. And after this, in the form control, we will create input tag. And for the form control name, we will give this as duration. And after this, we need to create last form control for the start date. And to do this, we will create form item and form control tags. And in this form control, we will create date picker tag. And for the form control name, we will give this as start date. And after this, we need to create a button. And to do this, we will use button tag. And in this button tag, for the text, we will give add new project. And after this, we will disable this button if our project form is invalid. And with this, our HTML code is completed for project form. And now let's save this file and let's run our application. And as you can see, our application is up without any errors. And now let's go to the browser and let's validate the functionality of our manage projects page and project reactive form. And on the login page of our application, we need to enter the details of admin user. And after adding email and password, we will click on this login button. And as you can see, after successful login, we got redirected to the admin dashboard. And now let's click on this projects menu. And as you can see, we got redirected to manage projects page. And on this page, we have two columns. And in the first column, we have a card which says post new project. And in this card, we have a reactive form with the fields of name, duration, date, and add project button. And now let's add a value in the project name. And after this, let's remove this value. And as you can see, we got validation error message. Please input the name. And now let's add a value again. And after this, let's enter the duration as well. And at the end, we will select a date. And as you can see, our add new project button got enabled. And that's it for today's video. In the next video, we will create admin service and then we will write the code to call add project API in our Angular application.